सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या योगविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ समस्त ब्रह्मविद्या योगाचार्याणां कृपया योग ब्रह्मविद्या अध्ययन साधना अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्म वैदिक संस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं योग साधना सिद्धेः निर्विघ्नेन वाप्त्यर्थम् आदौ योगाचार्याणां नमस्कारपूर्वक नामजपं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ हिरण्यगर्भाय कपिलमहर्षये नमः। 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 ॐ पतंजलि महर्षये नमः। ओम श्री 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 व्यास 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 महर्षये नमः। ओम अथ समस्त योगाचार्याणां पतंजलि महर्षे कृत पतंजलि योग दर्शन शास्त्रं प्रथमः पादः समाधिपादः प्रथमं सूत्रम्। ओम अथ योगानुशासनम्। ओम अथ योगानुशासनम्। ओम अथ yoganuशासनम्. So with Bhagavan Vyasa Bhashya, we have understood the Prathama Sutra. Before the second sutra begins, he is giving a one line of introduction. What he says, ki tasya lakshana abhiditsaya, tasya yogasya. Lakshana, lakshanas. Abhiditsaya, wanting to give us or explain to us or tell us the lakshana of that yoga, whose purpose is chittavritti nirodha followed by atmanubhutyar drashtu swarup vyavasthanam, wanting to give the lakshana of the yoga. Idam sutram pravavrute. This second sutra has been given or comes into existence or expression. So first sutra atha yoga anushasanam. We are teaching you yoga shastra. Simple meaning. All the details we have explained. Now what is the yoga shastra में योग का लक्षण क्या है? The lakshana is said in the second mantra or sutra. Let us chant it 3 times. Yogaha chittavritti nirodhaha. Yogaha chittavritti nirodhaha. Yogaha chittavritti nirodhaha. So, what is yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. So, 3 words. Chitta, chittasya vrittayaha, tesham nirodha. Simple meaning. Chitta, chittasya vrittayaha, tesham nirodha. So, yesterday we explained to you what is chitta. It is the subtle stuff. It came into expression from the avidya or maya. What is avidya? Not knowing the supreme self or reality or truth. When the truth is not known, that's called avidya. From that, this chitta stuff comes. Clear? It is one stuff only. Yesterday we explained exhaustively. But it is functionally 4. and those functional differences more frequently discussed in Vedanta. Throughout the Yoga Shastra, the common word for all these four called as chitta, that alone is used. चित्त चित्त ही बात होता है, मन बुद्धि अहंकार चित्त, ऐसे डिफरेंशिएशन इसमें ज्यादा नहीं दिखता. Not required. Straight away chitta means all are included. So yoga क्या है? लक्षणम चित्त वृत्ति निरोधः. Now we talked about what is chitta. Now, what is the vritti? Vritti means vartate anaya iti vritti. Chitta being always under the influence of the gunas. Because chitta came from Maya, Maya has got three gunas. Because of the continuous constant influence of the three gunas, be attentive. The chitta doesn't stay balanced way or stable way. Be understand. Clear? It doesn't stay in a balanced stable. Samyavastha कहते हैं उसको technically. Then what happens to it? कि whichever the guna, be attentive, whichever the guna is influencing it at that time, predominant at that time, that type of change the chitta goes into or enters into. Doesn't remain the same, but changes into because of guna. That change is called as vritti. Clear? The change in the chitta because the three gunas is called as the happening of the vritti in the chitta. Like the water is stable. So little disturbance from inside or outside done. The change that is happening in the stable stature of the water is called as a wave. The wave in the water, the ripple in the water is called as the vritti in the mana. So in the lake of the mind or chitta, there is the wave of the vritti. Be clear about it. In the lake of the mind or chitta, the wave of the vritti. Now why the vrittis are coming? Because of the three gunas which continuously influence the chitta. Now immediately we can have a beautiful consequent understanding here. What is a beautiful consequent understanding? Ki, what are those which are creating vrittis in the chitta? Are the gunas. Therefore, what are the vrittis? One common understanding is, therefore, the vrittis always are of trigunatmika. Therefore, in our chitta, because it is influenced by three gunas, the three gunatmika vrittis are there. That's how each and every one of our chitta, as long as we are at the chitta level, not reached the chitta level, as long as we are chitta level, we will always have either the sattvika vrittis or the rajasika vrittis or the tamasika vrittis, thoughts. Power of the vritti again forces you and I who identify that with the vritti to act in the world with the body and senses. All this acting with the body in the with the senses in the world outside, getting the karma phala, all this discussion, Yoga Shastra doesn't talk. That will anyway there. It need not be. It is only attending to the chitta and chitta vritti nirodha. It limits its subject and discussion only to this. That is sufficient also. Because when the Vrutta Niruddha is done, Vritti is not there, then who will prompt whom to work? When there is no karma, where is the karma phala and bandhanam? So through Chitta Vritti Nirodha, through Jnana Prapti, the yoga gives us moksha. Need not to worry about karma phala going into different worlds. That angle it doesn't take up. In between 2-3 times that topic comes, it will touch and explain. So therefore, Chitta kya hai? Stuff internal. Is it anytime free with the vrittis? No. Why? Because influenced by the three gunas. Therefore, what are the three types of vrittis? Sattvic, Rasik, Tamasic. Now, in the same Pratama Shikshavalli, sorry, Pratama Samadhi Pada, in the next 4-5 sutras only, the other explanation or definition of the vrittis is given. So here, because of the gunas, it is the three types of vritti. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic vritti because of Sattva, Rajasic, Tamasic guna. There, because of the qualities of the vritti, which have to be curtailed, the vrittis will be typed or mentioned as 5 types. Pancha vritti are there in us. of which we have to do nirodha. That will come in the next sutra. So, pramana, vikalpa, viparyaya, nidra, smriti. These are the 5 types of vritti. That's how the categorization. Like we know upadhi. Don't we talk in our Vedanta? The upadhi is in 2 ways. One upadhi is the stula shariram, sukshma shariram, karana shariram. Are these not the upadhis? These 3 are our upadhi, with which I am a jiva living in jagra, sapna, sushupti. But are not these same 3 upadhis talked as 5 koshas? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So the Annamaya is Stula Shariram, Prana Mano Vijnana, Sukshma Shariram, Anandamaya and Karana Shariram are same. Here also, in one place, Trigunatmika Vrutthis, another place, Pancha types of Vrutthis. I'm just information sake telling. There's nothing much to worry. At that time, we will anyway get the clarity of everything. So we have come up to what level? Chitta, yoga paribhasha. In the first, we have studied yoga, samadhi, chittasya swabhavika dharmaha, and that is of 2 types. So sampragnata, all that we saw. Now we are explaining the chitta. Chitta is explained. Vritti also explained. We have not seen Bhashyam. We are trying to understand it. Now Nirodha. So Nirodha is what? 2 ways. One, making the Vrutthis without getting upsurged, making them enter or get into the Laya Avastha, into the Chitta. Thereafter, Chitta Vrutthis are not coming out from the Chitta because of any internal or external reasons. External reasons are perceptions, internal reasons are vasanas or desires. Then that is mean that the Chitta dead, Vruttis are no more there. No. If the Vruttis are not there after the realization, that person should die then. If he dies, who will teach us? That means what? Therefore, as we said yesterday for also, Vritti Nirodha is not the destruction of the Vrittis, nor the destruction of the Chitta. Vritti Nirodha is controlling the Vrittis, thereby controlling Chitta in such a way that the Vrittis are not coming as per either Vasanas or the desires, but Vrittis are coming desire or perception, but they are coming as per our requirement or choice. That's called the Nirodha of the Chitta Vrittis. At one level. At the higher level of wanting to know the Atmanubhuti, totally the meaning of Nirodha is dissolving Chittas to Anubhava of the Atma. After Atmanubhuti, again see the beauty. The Vrittis again are there for us for transactional purpose. At that time, Vritti and Atmavastu, they are not taken as two. The self alone is taking the shape of the Vritti for the sake of transaction. Because for the sake of transaction, Vrittis are required. So this is how Yoga, Chitta. Remember what is the explanation given to the Chitta? Vritti. Remember what is the explanation given to Vritti? Nirodha. What is the Nirodha? And yoga is an abhyasa. In that all sadhanas are given. Through all the sadhanas that are going to be given, we do the yoga. What is the yoga? Done Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Now when you do the sadhana of the Chitta Vritti Nirodha with the yoga, 2 things happen. First is Samadhi Sthiti. But never ever the Samadhi Sthiti is the goal. The goal is to know the Paramatatva. That knowing Paramatatva is called as another meaning of the word yoga. Like in Vedanta, just now we studied Brahma Vidya giving us Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti. Here also, yoga is a sadhana, yoga also is siddhi. Therefore, goal is not samadhi, goal is yoga only. Yoga is what? Sarupe avasthanam is sadhana, is yoga. But for that, what sadhana to be done called as Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that also is called as yoga. Therefore, what are the yoga means? Chitta Vritti Nirodha Rupa Samadhi Sadhana leading to the Atmanubhuti. Therefore, yoga sadhana, yoga siddhi. Clear? Yoga sadhanas are elaborated in all 190 sutras. But Siddhi is one only, Swarupa Avastha. Like in Vedanta, Shravana, Manana, Nidhi, Ittana Megoro. But Siddhi is what? Aham Brahmas. Same, that Anubhuti, this Anubhuti are not two. The way there the dealing is directly with the Atma Vastu. Its Lakshanas, contemplation is done. Here, that Chitta, which is obstruction for our Atma Jnanam, that is dealt with here. Reaching Purusha through Prakriti Sambandha Sadhana is yoga. Reaching Purusha directly with the Purusha Sambandha Sadhana is Vedanta. Those who can do that because they are freed from the Prakriti's clutches, they will be doing the Vedanta. But you and I can't do right now. For ourselves to get qualified to that level, definitely we have to do the Prakriti Sambandha Sadhana, of understanding the entire Prakriti or nature called as Chitta and its Vrutthis, and do the sadhana of Nirodha. Listen one by one sentence, 2 times, 3 times, then you get the knowledge pakka. Last 1 month, all our 6 classes, we are dealing with the subject in very clear details with lot of quotations, logics, examples. It is your responsibility to listen it twice or thrice to become clear about the subject's understanding. If we don't do it right now and make the knowledge stronger, then we may forget it back to square one. That's your homework. Okay. Now, our Shiva Bhagavan, Vyasa Bhagavan's Bhashyam, we will study on this Dvitiya Sutra, Dvitiyam Sutra. We have explained generally Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Same thing from Bhashyakara's Bhashya, we'll study what he says. First thing he says, Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. It is a sutra. What is the Bhashyam of Vyasa on that? First, is the Sarva word used in the Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha? Not used. So yoga sarva chitta vritti nirodha, chitta sarva vritti nirodha is not used. Therefore, what do you mean, my dear Bhashyakara Vyasa? Sarva shabda agrahanat. Sarva shabda is not used by the Sutrakara. Agrahanat samprajnataha api yoga iti akhyayate. Therefore, samprajnata samadhi also is called yoga. We already explained what is Samyak Prajna Samadhi, that we are in such a strong Chitta Ekagra and Shuddha Sattvaguna Bhumika that Sattvaguna Vrittis are there. Therefore, Sattvaguni Vritti Yukta Samprajnata Samadhi also is a yoga because Sarvachitta Vritta Nirodha is not said, and in the Samprajnata Yoga there are Sattvika Vrittis. So, Samprajnata Samadhi or Yoga, there are the Sattvika Vrittis maintained. Sarvavritti Nirodha is not said. Therefore, this particular Samprajnata Samadhi also comes in the category of sadhana or the yoga. That's called, we studied in the Avyapti Ativyapti in the beginning when we saw Sadashiva Brahmendra Yogi's commentary. And we left that. Now we are studying straight away the Vyasa Bhashya. So, समाधि योग में सारे वृत्तियों का निरोध नहीं होता. देन संप्रज्ञात योग में लिसन केयरफुली सत्व वृत्तियां रहते हैं. नाउ जॉइन दीज टू थिंग्स. When you join these two things, the conclusion is what? That the nirodha of rajo and tamo guna vrittis is real nirodha. Then having sattva gunis vritti for the samprajnata samadhi first. After some time, even these vrittis, when they have fulfilled their purpose is viveka khyati. It will come in the next line. After that, even those सात्विक वृत्तियों का भी निरोध हो जाता है. Then it's called asamprajnata yoga or samadhi. In another word, it's called nirbija samadhi. In other word, it is called as kaivalyam. In other word, it's called as swarupe avasthanam. It will happen when we do sadhana in our heart so beautifully. Pakka. You can understand and do and experience every stage of yoga sadhana and yoga siddhi. So therefore, in our layman's language, through all the sadhanas that are told, called as yoga sadhanas, in this yoga darshanam, we eliminate tamasic sattvic vrittis first. One. Second, with the sattvic vritti, we reach to a stabilized state of sampragnata samadhi. In that sampragnata samadhi, because the sattva guna vrittis are predominant, with that sattva guna capacity of the chitta, we clearly understand the presence of the Parama Atma inside, apart from the vrittis or chitta. That is what the Sampragnata Samadhi becomes a means. Like yesterday we saw Ekagra Bhumika, it will give this. Later on, Tataha Sampragnata Samibhavati, Abhimukaha Bhavati. Nahi, that is called Sampragnata. It leads to Asampragnata. It was explained in the first sutra, if you remember. So here also, with the Ekagra Chitta, when you become attentive, you not only know the self intellectually, not experientially. You recognize the presence of the self. Second is recognize the presence of the self to be other than, to be apart from the Chitta. In Vedanta, Bhashya, like the hot iron ball, how the lakshanas of the fire, the lakshana of the iron mix together in such a way that an impossible thing called as red hot iron ball is seen. Red and hot came from the fire. Iron and ball came from the iron ball. Together, red hot iron ball. How that happened? Anyonya Adhyasa it is called. But through Viveka we understand. Iron with its redness, with its blackness and shape and weight is different. Fire, no shape, no weight, but has got its color as well as the heat. Do alag. In the same way, the position of the vritti, position of the Atma are clearly understood to be separate. That stage will be given to us by the Sampragnata Yoga, which is achieved through the Ekagra Chitta Bhumika, in which the Sattva Gunas only are there, not influenced by Rajas Tamas. In that, this is called Viveka Khyati in Vedanta, in our Yoga Bhasha, where this Khayal or Khyati or knowledge is about the Viveka, that this is a self, that is Chitta. At the next stage, the disinterestedness toward the Chitta and Vrittis develops, then those Chitta and Vrittis also are dropped, called as Niruddha. Then what remains? Only the Paramatma Anubhuti. That's called Kaivalya. So Kaivalyam is Atmanamurti. Before that step is dropping the Chitta. Before that is knowing that the Chitta is separate from the Atma. Before that, चित्त ही आत्मा के रूप में लिया गया, आत्मा को भूल ही गए. In Vedanta, Tadatmya with the Upadhi is so much that the Nirupadika Atma is forgotten. So tomorrow we will see when the Shishya asks the question, Purva Pakshi in our Taittiriya Upanishad, exactly same answer is given. How do you say the Prapti of the Brahma is already Prapta? So it is Darshana, Darshano, Adharam eva, Prapti, Aprapti, Brahmanaha. He will explain there. Here also, same way, Sampragnata Sthiti will give us the ability to separate the Atmavastu with the Chitta. When we become disinterested in the Chitta, Vrutthis, they get dissolved. What remains is the pure Atma Anubhuti. This is called as Asampragnata Samadhi or Asampragnata Yoga. Samadhi is sadhana abhyasa, yoga is anubhuti or siddhi or reaching. Okay, whenever the word is used samadhi, always remember it's an effort. Whenever yoga word is used, always remember it's a result of that effort reaching the goal. So asampragnata samadhi is that practice where we are not becoming aware of any of the vrittis. Asampragnata. Samyak pragnayate is very well known. Asampragnayate not at all becoming aware of the vrittis. That is a samadhi sadhana. Goal is what? Reaching there. Asampragnata yoga. In that asampragnata yoga sthiti, what remains when the chitta vrittis are dropped or niruddha? Swarupe avasthanam.